back to Gear and Guitars with Mel. I am Mel, and what we're going to do today is we're going to take a look at my pedal board. I keep calling it my temporary pedal board, and that's for a reason. It's all the pedals that I'm going to have, and it's the way I'm going to have it set up. But the board itself, a friend of mine, he's a custom woodworker, and he's making me a nice home board. And I say home board because I think it might have a handle on it, but I don't know how useful that handle is going to be. It's going to be something quite unique that nobody's probably ever seen. And then I'm gonna see how awesome it is, because he does really good work. But for now, he built me a temporary, a loaner, as it were. He's not a musician; he's a woodworker. But I told him, we got together, we knocked our heads together, and we came up with some pretty neat designs that we've changed about 10 times. But so I'm just gonna go through basically how I have my board set up, maybe a little bit about how I have my my amp rig set up, but I'd actually like to make that a video of its own one day. Let's get hands-on. Let's take a look at some. Alright, so the most important, well, I don't know about most important, but a very important part of my pedal board is this Bad Mammals Jammals right here. This is a 12 pedal loop switcher. I paused for super dramatic effect. And it's pretty cool because I don't know how it comes out on the camera, but they do custom LEDs. This is from Buzz Electronics in the UK. I actually had a mishap with a Joyous pedal switcher that I bought. There were some issues with the seller and condition of the item and workability and stuff like that. And I ended up saying, nope, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just go ahead and get this one here from Buzz Electronics. So they do custom LEDs. I don't know if you can tell right here, but I have 3 dirt channels. One which is kind of an amber or yellow, and then we have the darker orange and the red, and that's how my gain pedals work up. And so on like that. Each one has the color LED that I asked for. And what this does is it runs this whole mess. Now my pedal board, I actually, obviously like anybody else, I'm a big fan of my own pedal board because I put it together and I kind of designed its layout to suit my needs. I have pedals on here that cost me a lot, and I have pedals on here that cost me very, very little. Alright, so we'll start at the beginning of my signal chain. Right here, we have a SaturnWorks 2-channel box, so you go in one side, come out 2 sides. And I do that so that I can run dedicated to a tuner. And I run the Polytune 2 Noir True Bypass. I try to keep as many True Bypass pedals on my board as I can. Now, before I get to the switcher, I'm guitar in to that right there. Alright, and then I'm going right from that into my SP compressor by Exotic. And then out of my SP compressor, I go right into my EP booster. Okay, so the SP compressor is basically a compressor that it's very much the Ross compressor. And everybody knows the EP booster is the Echoplex preamp with a boost. I set it to vintage. I want it to color the tone more than I want it to boost. I have plenty of things, as you'll see, that can boost up. And right out of the Echoplex, right out of the EP booster, I go into my Crybaby. It's been modded a little bit. I did some stuff in there that I want to talk about. And then from that, I go into my Behringer CV100. I just use it as a volume pedal. It's a modulation, expression pedal, whatever. I just use it for volume. All right, and then that goes right into my loop switcher. All right. So the first channel of dirt on my loop switcher, dirt number 1, is my SL drive from Exotic. I don't know if you've noticed, big Exotic fan. These mini Exotic pedals are great. They're they cost a couple bucks, but I believe very much that they're worth it. So the SL drive, SL stands for Super Lead. That is essentially it's another Marshall in a box. That's my favorite kind of dirt pedal. If you've watched any of my videos, it's kind of apparent. I like the plexi in a box kind of deal. So that's my dirt pedal 1. All right. 2, I actually have 2 pedals on my my second dirt channel, and it depends on what I'm doing, be it gigging, recording, what have you. And what I have on there is my GFS Brownie Classic. This pedal is a monster. It's going to get its own video really soon. I'm very impressed with it. I keep it on my board for the most part. I keep it in the comp mode, which is a much more compressed, kind of a JCM 800 kind of tone. Again, Marshall in a box. And also on Dirt Channel 2 on my pedal switcher, I have my Rowan Plexian, which, you know, you can tell by the name, is a plexi pedal. I believe it runs the same circuit. I believe it's the same as the Tone City Golden Plexi, or the Tom's Line. I'm pretty sure that the Plexian is the same as the Golden Plexi. It's great. It's a tiny little pedal, true bypass, of course, but it's a wicked, wicked pedal. Alright, and that's what I got on my second dirt channel. My third dirt channel is kind of unique. I run 2 pedals on there as well. I have my OCD by Full Tone, which is, man, oh, it's just a great pedal. It's an amp. You know what I mean? It's literally a little amp pedal, which is why I have it here, why I like to use it like that. And it's, oh man, it's great for all my single coils. I don't think I have a single coil guitar that I don't think sounds incredible through that. I will admit that for me, it's a bit thick for some of my humbuckers, and that's why on the same channel I have the MXR Prime Distortion. MXR Prime Distortion is, you know, it's pretty good. It gets in their plexi area. I like it a lot, but I don't prefer it to the OCD. But when I'm looking for kind of a lot heavier tone, you know, something when I'm maybe tuning lower, doing some good chugging, it's a pretty good pedal for that. Alright, that's what I have on Dirt 3. After my Dirt, of course, I have my EQ. And for an EQ, I'm running the Joyous 6-band. It's a really good EQ. It also, you know, throws some boost to it. I have my bands set in Happy Face. I tend to bring them down a little bit so that, you know, I can use it on all 3 of my dirt channels to color the tone the way I want it. Okay. Next we have a delay. Alright, and for my delay, I am running the MXR Carbon Copy analog. They have a Carbon Copy Bright, but the kind of amps that I'm using and stuff like that, I just don't think that I need a Carbon Copy Bright. It's a killer pickup. It's so cool looking with the glitter. Great pedal though. It does everything that I want my delay pedal to do. Alright. After that I have Chorus, which, as you can see here, at one point was MXR Micro Chorus. It's had some things happen to it, but you know, only good mods. Great chorus pedal. I would suggest that to anybody. Alright. Now, you go into the next, we got our phaser here. Alright, and my phaser is this little, by Rowan as well, just like the Plexian. My little Rowan Speed phaser. And you got the little switch there that gives you vintage or modern, which is basically script or block, because it's essentially, you know, a mock-up, you know, trying to be a clone of the Phase 90. Great little pedal. Tiniest one I've ever owned. It is a nano micro pedal if there ever was. Alright. In the next spot we have a flanger. My flanger is actually a Johnson. Now, when you look at it from far away, you're like, wow, what kind of Boss pedal is that? And it's not. It's from this little company called Johnson that I don't even know if they still exist. I had a Johnson Telly once that was killer. But I saw these and I was like, wow, it looks just like anybody would. I was like, oh, it looks like a Boss, but the interface is different. What's that about? And I picked it up. Dirt cheap. Super old. I don't even think the jack, the 9-volt jack back here works. I actually have to run from a the battery pack into another little rig it up there, but it works. And it's a really good flanger, really deep. The oscillations and everything are very good. The interface does everything that you want it to do. The only beef I have with it is that, man, it stays unity level. That thing, if you'll know if the amp is louder and your pedals are shutting them down, you know, and compressing that signal, this pedal gives it away, because as soon as you engage it, booyah, it just blows it up. After that, I have Pitch Harmony, which is my Moore pitch box. This thing's wicked. So the pitch box does detune, pitch shift, and harmony. Okay, and you got a little dial here to set it how deep or shallow you want it. It is no joke. I'm a big fan of that. Okay. Then we have the Joyous Tremolo. This is actually the first time I ever played that pedal. It was a Harley Benton version. You know, it's just rebranded, but this is a great drum pedal. It leaves me wanting for nothing. It gives me all those old like 60s, 70s sounds, you know, and it's got the blink to show you your rate, which is actually really helpful, instead of it just being an on LED like everything else. Okay, so next, second to last on the loop switcher, we have the Acoustic Simulator. Okay, this is from, is that Tom's Line? Yeah, that's a Tom's Line. So, you know, overseas, I got nothing against none of that. It's pretty cool. You get some choice of, I believe it's piezo, jumbo, and what? I can't read that. Oh, piezo, standard, and jumbo. Sorry, man, it's tiny, and the camera's actually so much bigger than it. All right. I tell you, it doesn't sound anything like an acoustic guitar, but I like the way it sounds, the way it colors the clean tone. Is actually pretty wicked. That's why I keep it on my pedal board. All right. And last on the switcher itself is my Mini Spark. You know, 20 dB boost, true bypass. I obviously don't kick it all the way up. I just use it for just a little bit of boost if you're trying to get some lead tones. I have, like I said, when I kick on the Joyous equalizer, I get a little bit of a boost. If I'm using the Flanger, I wouldn't need it because I boost it up. It's on its own. But that's what I have off of my loop switcher. Again, that's Buzz Electronics. You should check them out. I think it's buzzelectronics.co.uk maybe. Alright, now after the switcher, I'm running into my Century Noise Gate by TC. You'll notice I'm a TC Electronics fan. I think for the cost, they offer some pretty wicked pedals. And then right from my Century, I am going into, booyah, my Ditto Looper. Okay, the Ditto, I think it's a great looper pedal. I mean, for what I use it for, you know, I'm just using it to jam, write riffs and stuff like that. You know, they have the Ditto 2 and the big fat 4 by it. I don't need any of that. If I don't know, I would go Loop Station if I wanted something that was that super fancy. And I think, you know, it just does everything you need it to do, and it was not a wallet breaker. Alright, and into that, and from that, I'm going start off with a SaturnWorks, and I end with SaturnWorks. It's my SaturnWorks buffer, because I am running many feet of cable, even with the loop box. And the buffer's wicked. You know, it does a really good job. Sends my cable out to my signal out to my amps. You know, the way it was coming through. And you'll notice that my always-on pedals are my exotics. I know that the SP compressor has a buffered circuit. I believe the EP Boost does as well, but I'm not positive. I don't want to speak about it if I don't know. Alright, powering this whole monstrosity, I have the MXR ISO brick, and I run some of my pedals at a higher voltage. I'll tell you that I run all of my exotic pedals at about 15 volts, and I run my OCD at 18 volts as well as the carbon copy, just for the headroom. Alright, now also obviously next to the ISO brick you see the DC brick, because you know, this is a lot of stuff to power. And then finally, I have a little Livewire ABY box. The reason I have the ABY box is that my rig is stereo. I just got this going just this past week, actually. Picked up this 6220, and we will definitely get into a video about that. It's tough though, because I'm such a lover of my pedal board that I have a hard time you know, just going straight into the amp right now, you know, because I'm so excited about getting my this ready to go. But yeah, I dig running the stereo rig. Makes my cleans wicked. Now what I'm going to do, play through all the tones for you. Well, I'll give you some sounds, but man, I can't imagine trying to give you every tone on this board. Yeah, you know what? We're going to do it. We're going to give you every tone on the board. Alright, hold on one moment. So there you go. That was my pedal board. All those tones you were getting coming out of this here mahogany body, maple neck, rosewood fingerboard, Ibanez Gem Jr. I have done nothing to this guitar aside from change the knobs. So that's where all your tones were coming from. And that's my pedal board, man. I love it. I know this video isn't as comprehensive as I'd like it to be, but hey, man, I don't know. It's my passion, right? So what we got coming up pretty soon here is obviously I'm going to be doing a video on the Behringer 6220, which is, I believe, a take on the 6505 by PV. I'm not positive. That's what I'm led to believe. I actually didn't know much about that amp until very recently. And as I'm sure you gathered from my channel, I'm a big Behringer fan. I was surprised at the quality and the awesome sounds. Tone for days. Also, I had put out in my little blurb video there the question, would you guys rather see me pay for a guitar, just go get one, take it back and give it a review for you, or would you prefer me to assemble one, put one together for you, build one? And between the emails, the comments, and all the messages all over the social media Twitter sphere, the verdict is absolutely to build a guitar. So what I've done is I have ordered, well, everything that I need to put a guitar together. I ordered a neck and body that are already joined to save me all that. I'm not going to go from bare wood and build a guitar. That would take me entirely too long, and I wouldn't want to have any part of making a video of that. I'll throw some pictures up and so you can see what kind of parts I'm going to be working with, and you know what kind of guitar I think I'm going to be building you. Well, not for you, it's for me, but you get to watch. I think it'll be a good time. I don't know how in-depth I'm going to get when it comes to the video filming of the building of the guitar, because you don't want to watch me crowning and polishing frets, or you know, straightening a neck or soldering all day. You know, nobody wants to see that. That's just boring. You just want the guitar to get done the way I said I was going to do it, and then have it sound awesome, which is what I want. So that's going to be coming pretty soon. I think I'm going to single out some of my pedals for some videos, because I just, man, I love my pedals, man. So yeah, we're going to do an amp video, we're going to do some other pedal videos, and then we're totally going to rock out. I thank all you guys for having input, you know, for giving me some feedback, because I was this close to taking the easy way out and just buying a guitar and saying, here, check it out, which, you know, I'll still do that too, but I think it would be cool that you guys decided that you wanted to see a guitar built. So again, thank you for checking out Gear Guitars with Mel. I am Mel, and look forward to getting this stuff up there for you guys to see it. So, thanks a lot, man.